Hey guys, welcome back to Micho Makes. My name is Micho. I like to make stuff. Today I've got part number 86 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. This is the 1/8 scale massive model that we're building together. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this one. Okay, starting off, we've got our cover here and appropriately titled part number 86. We've got our pieces here, and as you can tell what it is, it's actually what we've seen before, which is just the door card, door handle, a lot of screws here this time. But ooh, we got a nice little trim piece there with some labeling. So pieces there, and we've got our magazine. All right, let's check out our magazine. Okay, let's check it out. All right, I did take a look at this before. We can quickly discuss it too as well. Looks like we are in a section of the design choices of the AE86, and this is part one around that. But really kind of goes, and the article really goes into discussing how the design kind of came about with the AE86 and the iconic design. And the initial part really talks about the design company that actually was commissioned by Toyota to actually create the Hachiroku design, which was Kanto Auto Works, it was called. And they basically were tasked by Toyota, and actually they had purchased a Isuzu Piazza and really kind of based the design of the 86 off of that to kind of find a car that would surpass that. They also talk about in the article the decisions between the front engine, front drive versus front engine, rear drive. And they basically said, let me just double check and make sure this is in focus for you guys one more time. They basically said, hey, in case, the previous vehicles are already front engine, rear drive vehicles. And because of that decision, it was very difficult to actually implement front engine, front drive style. So they actually just kept with the front engine, rear drive style. So with the drive shaft and everything. But basically, they really do talk a lot about the Kanto Auto Works and how they really helped, or actually did all the design for the AE86. And how there were two different versions of the Levin and Trueno too as well. You can see the coupe here, and then the hatchback there too as well. And those are both the Levin designs. You can see with the headlights obviously here, and then also the rear tail light designs too. Very iconic, and it's actually kind of strange, to have such a dramatic, same cars but dramatic, kind of body styles, which I kind of love. And then here is the Isuzu Piazza that was actually tasked and given to Kanto Auto Works to kind of emulate and defeat. Right, you can see a lot of the same design elements, especially in the kind of rear end on the hatchback design. See how even the glass panel, how they kind of came out with a sharper angle here. Actually, let me make sure this is actually in focus for you. The sharper angle here, you can see how the rear taillights are laid out, because I believe the Isuzu actually hired an Italian designer to come up with this design, and Toyota saw a kind of rivalry that they needed to keep ahead of the game and try to defeat this vehicle. So I didn't even know about the Piazza, and everybody knows about the AE86. So Toyota made the right decision. All right, moving on, we jump right into the part. So we've all seen this before, really kind of with the door, getting the door implemented. One thing we were pretty cool to see would be it's got a little sticker here on the side, and probably like a safety seatbelt sticker, because this is technically the driver's door. You can see where we're going to be implementing a lot of the door mechanisms that we'd done previously, including the crank, adding another gear, it looks like, getting it all set. We've all seen that before. The previous door, getting the door card on, getting the interior panel on, Then again, getting the rest of the panel done too as well, and then finally ending on getting it installed on the body. So without further ado, let's just jump right in this one because it's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot of steps in this. It should be relatively quick though, since we've done it before. So we'll get the camera set up and get started. Okay, starting out here, we actually had some loose screws here. I'll actually zoom in real quick. We had these RP screws here. Make sure it's in focus for you. It was focused just a second there. RP screws, ARM screws, AM screws, and SP screws. I believe these. Oh no, those are right. We'll continue looking at the rest of the screws. We've got the AP screws here too as well. AAM screws to finish it off. That's a lot of screws we've got to deal with. So I'm going to try to maybe keep these in clean as I can. Alright, so we've seen these panels before on the other side. Here's a door card that will have the pocket down here too as well. This is plastic. We've got the side with the actual door handle too as well. And then actually the grab handle part too as well. This is plastic as well too. All labeled with the R. You know, it's just kind of funny though, because yes, this is only one side. So maybe it's more for the guys who put the stuff in the packaging. I don't know. It's just funny. That's why would we know it's a label, it's the right side. And then we've got the panel piece here, and this is going to be near the door itself. So let's actually take a look at the detail on the sticker. That's really cool. Try to keep it as steady as I can. So it looks like, and maybe it's, I can't really read it. I don't think Google Translate would be able to get it there, but I believe this is more like safety information. Super cool detail. Luckily they did put it on there already, and it looks like some sort of like screen printing, so didn't have to worry about any kind of stickers or anything kind of screwing that up, but you can kind of see it right there. Really cool, man. It's like it's even hard for me to see it. It's that tight, and it does look like it's screen printed too as well. So really cool little piece there. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom back out. Got a little map pocket here too as well. A little scratch on it. Oh, that sucks. And that is, yeah, that stinks. Got a door handle here. You can see the details on that. Our crank. Really cool piece. And last but not least, another cog there. Alright, and that's it. Alright, let's get everything set up. I'll grab the other door and we'll get going. Alright, starting out here, we've got our interior door panel here, the plastic piece. And we've got the piece with the really nice detail. We're going to be putting it right here. Kind of slides and pokes on there. And then we're going to take a couple AP screws and attach it here too as well. I believe it's 3. Yeah, there's 3 of them there. Alright, got that piece in. Next step, we're actually going to be taking this other door panel here. We're going to be taking our door handle here, and luckily there is a keyway there too as well, so we're just going to drop that in just like so. You can't put it in the wrong direction. I will say I am going to clean this up just a little bit. You can see, let's see if I can zoom in real quick. A little bit of a casting sprue there. Right there, you see that? Not really pleased with that, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clean this up real quick. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was before. Let's come back out. Alright, and it just gets plopped in right there, and that looks way better than it was before. Grab an SP screw. Alright. Now we're just going to line this up in this direction. It's pretty simple. There's this whole thing about like, oh yeah, here you got to flip it in. Yeah, just literally just place it here. Just gets placed right in there. You can see where the door crank would be. And we're just going to get some AP screws. And it looks like there's 8. Let's secure this door panel. Okay, got that done. Next we're going to grab our handle crank here and just install it there. Going to need to hold that in the right position they want. I'm going to flip the page real quick in the instructions. The crank here, put that through the back side. You can see that pop out there. We're going to take this other gear here, and I don't know about the orientation of where they want. They have it kind of oriented this like right in the middle. So I'll keep it in the middle. I'll keep this the hand crank pointed up direction, and then obviously there's a kind of a keyway there that we've seen before. Get that placed. Then we're going to use an RP screw. There's no real cross thread on this. It's weird. It was like stopping, but it wasn't like all the way down. That looks okay though. Just trying the mechanism. Seems like it's dragging on something. I mean, it doesn't need to be super smooth, but just a little bit smoother than that, especially when I'm going up and down. That's okay. Alright, now we're going to grab our panel here. Did this before. And one thing to remember is that these little notches are going to go in these guides here, and they are not big enough for you to go this middle notch right there goes in it, not this side, because if you look, they actually don't fit it all right there. You can see that or not. So we're just going to get in there the best we can. Perfect. Take one more RP screw. There you go. A little off track there because we only have one side on, and the thing likes to go flopping around and you don't have a lockdown, but there you go. This window is on. Alright. Gonna make sure that this little piece is marked down like that. We're gonna turn our door over on top of it. Looks good. Let's test the window now with the door on. Oh yeah. That one seems way smoother than the other one. I don't know why. Okay, then we're going to take, let's see here. After flipping this on, good. Going to take some AM screws and put those in. I'm going to put these ones away real quick. Okay, that's it. Let's take a look at that door. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, that window action seems way better. It's still really cool, like, to mess around with it. The fact that the door handle actually works and raises and lowers a window there. Okay, so we'll just take this piece here. We attach our pocket here, just like so. We're going to take some AP screws and attach the pocket here. Okay, got that on. And this is actually just a press fit. It just goes on, presses. Oh yeah. And there you go. There's our door with our door card and our window that raises and lowers. That looks so good. Okay. Next step, we're actually grabbing. They actually want to make sure you guys get our hinge set and also our stay set there too as well. Good to go. But I gotta grab the body. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I just realized I screwed up and did not hit record on getting the door attached, but all we did was grab some these AAM screws and got the door attached, and then just took a quick look at it. One thing I did screw up on, and I'm kind of glad I didn't film it, was that I did not screw the window kind of down well enough in the interior, and it was every time I actuated the window opening and closing, it actually the window just fell, and I didn't like that, so I disassembled everything, redid it, got those screws tensioned up better, and this thing looks awesome. Look at that. But let's take a look at the two doors. Look at that. Front door, driver's door and passenger door. They look great. This passenger door though has a pretty big gap on there. I don't know if I need to make an adjustment or something. Maybe it's back here. I don't know. Not really that big of a deal, but we're just gonna leave it for now. This driver's door though looks amazing. Like, let's take a look at the interior too as well with the little door card symbol there. You can zoom in on that. Take a look at that. Super cool. Yeah. And it has such a great sound too as well with that door actuation. But that is it for part number 86 of the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 by DeAgostini. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around. We're really close to as well to getting this thing done. But let's take a look at part number 87 and what they've got in store for us there. And it looks like we've got the windshield. And the windshield, it looks like it's shaped like the windshield, but it also has the front fender portions too as well, from what I can see. So we should be kind of looking forward to that in the next one in part number 87. But if you haven't yet, like and subscribe to the video. Really helps the channel grow. Really do appreciate you guys sticking around. We'll see you guys in the next one, part number 87. Bye for now.